Labour backbencher and Jeremy Corbyn critic Neil Coyle. Neil Coyle, do you welcome this general election and will you be supporting it?
Well, I think it shows that the Conservative Party is in disarray on this issue. Theresa May is trying to duck the issue of Brexit by having an election now before she gets to the point where the damage, or more of the damage, comes through, after the final agreement.
And are you firmly square behind Jeremy Corbyn and the leader's office in this election?
Any Labour Prime Minister is better than any Conservative Prime Minister, in my opinion, and will do more for constituents like mine in Bermondsey, focusing on homes, jobs and the NHS. I know that Jeremy would make a better Prime Minister than Theresa May.
Even though you've been a very staunch critic of him over the last few years.
Well, the last few days have seen one private email I sent to Jeremy become the focus of office politics rather than the focus that it should have been on, which is I was saying we need a communications agenda that delivers on things like policing. And the police in Bermondsey do not have the resources they need in order to investigate all crime. Not focused enough on education, where we see in Southwark some of the biggest cuts coming through from this government. I wanted those to be the focus of our communications agenda. That's what I was asking for, and instead I got reported to the Chief Whip. I think all that nonsense will now end. Right,
although, you think which nonsense? The Labour Party leadership nonsense, as you would call it then?
The internal, the silliness of reporting an MP to the Chief Whip for asking for a better communications agenda.
But isn't it the internal infighting in Labour that is not going to put you in a very good position in this general election?
Well, I'll be fighting as the Labour MP for Bermondsey and Southwark, and I hope my electors don't have too short a memory. Remember that there was a Lib Dem before who voted for things like the bedroom tax and hiking tuition fees, didn't support equal marriage. I think those issues will still have salience with many voters.
Well, there's nothing like a general election to focus MPs' minds, of course, but with the Fixed Term Parliaments Act, it does need a two-thirds majority of MPs to vote it through to call for this general election. I presume you will be voting in favour of it.
There is also the option of a vote of no confidence and then having an option for a different Prime Minister altogether.
Right,
so
but Theresa May has said she's going to
yet.
put a motion tomorrow for MPs to vote on to call for a general election. Barry Gardiner and Jeremy Corbyn have said they will be supporting that. Will you?
I don't know yet because we haven't seen the detail of the Prime Minister's statement. I apologise if that's not good enough for you at this stage, but I haven't seen it. When I see what's on the table tomorrow, I'll make my mind up then.
Right. I mean, it's very straightforward, as you know. If a two-thirds of MPs in the House of Commons vote to call for an early election, that early election will happen. So all I'm asking, if that's the motion that goes tomorrow to you and your colleagues, will you vote in favour of it?
It's not clear that is, and there is also the option of vote of no confidence and an alternative government being formed.
Right.
So if that's what Theresa May wants, and as I said at the start of this interview, Theresa May has taken a big gamble here. We've lost Cameron early and Phillips early from the Conservative Party, and they lost Goldsmith in London because London and I opposed Brexit. So this is a gamble on the Prime Minister's part.
I take your point, but if that is what Theresa May asks for tomorrow, will you vote in favour of it?
I haven't seen what the Prime Minister's asking for, so this is just speculation. So let's see what comes up tomorrow, and you can see how my vote will be recorded in the public domain.
Right.